Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What's up, everybody? Good morning and a happy Monday to you all. DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk Studios this morning. Appreciate you making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it, whether you are listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, online at our website, sportstalk1051.com. You got the app, Wisco Sports app. Download that, take it on the go. Your Alexa devices, smart speakers, and, of course, the video stream that is rocking and rolling on YouTube right now. But, again, hopefully you had an awesome weekend. Hopefully you're able to stay cool, and hopefully you will be able to stay cool for the rest of the week here. But what do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Well, Brewers not able to get to 60 wins as they were swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates in their 3-game series over the weekend. So Brewers one win off. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's always the Pirates right before the All-Star break or whatever. But Brewers, if you're looking at where things kind of stand right now, 59-37. Heading into that All-Star break, they are 5 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs. For first place in the NL Central, the Brewers still with the second most wins across Major League Baseball, only behind the Dodgers. Dodgers the only team with 60 or more wins. They are 61-36 on the season. But Brewers over the weekend, too, maybe some concern when it comes to pitching a little bit. Kyle Harrison was placed on the injured list with left forearm discomfort. Jacob Mizorowski was scratched from his start yesterday, as the team is calling it fatigue. But it sounds like he won't even pitch in the first series coming out of the All-Star break when they return home on Friday to take on the Marlins. So with all that being said, since we are now into the All-Star break, question that we're going to throw out to all of you experts and such. What do you think are the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers now that we are heading into this All-Star break, or we are into this All-Star break? What do you think are the biggest questions, maybe the biggest concerns, areas that maybe you feel like the Brewers need to address before that trade deadline, which is going to be here before you know it? It's only just a couple weeks away, beginning of August. Would imagine a lot of these teams are going to be kind of sitting down and maybe figuring out what the game plan is going to be for them going forward here, if they are going to be making some moves and that before the All-Star break, or before the trade deadline, excuse me. So, but what do you think? All right, we want your opinion. Hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912, or you can join in on the Section 105 chats on our video stream, too. Brewers, just think about this, just 66 games left of the regular season here for the crew. So plenty of baseball chat coming your way. Plenty of Brewers chats coming your way. We have a little bit of some Bucks chat here, too, because, some drama on Friday, reportedly. Tyler Hero getting slugged by his former teammate, Bam Adebayo, in Vegas during Summer League. So you got that going on. Gary Trent Jr., I haven't seen too many Bucks fans maybe excited for this contract, but a 4-year, $64 million deal to return to the Milwaukee Bucks. So Bucks fans, Hoops fans, what are your thoughts on maybe that move? We'll throw a little football chat in here too as we continue our Packers training camp countdown, as training camp's going to be opening up here in just a couple of weeks for the Pack. A couple of weeks from this Wednesday, I believe. Will be 2 weeks from this Wednesday will be the first practice. So we'll continue our top storylines and all that as we head into training camp. Also on the docket for us this morning, we'll do a little best and worst from the weekend. So best and worst, our VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. You could participate by letting us know what was the best and what was the worst. Also, we'll do a little Monday morning, little chat GPT. We've got Justice Cleveland coming up in the 9 o'clock hour for our local sports roundup, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. The Express also back in action after their All-Star break, and they continue to roll right along. They picked up 3 wins this past weekend, sweeping Thunder Bay and then picking up a win against La Crosse last night. So the Express currently are on a 6-game winning streak, and they are just a half game out of first place in their division. But we'll recap all that, and I know we had some Legion baseball going on too when we get to our local sports roundup a little bit later on in the program. But that's kind of your game plan for us here this morning. Let's open it up talking some Brewers. Not probably the finish to heading into the All-Star break that a lot of Brewers fans were hoping to see, but Brewers dropping all 3 games against the Pirates, a doubleheader on Saturday, and then yesterday's series finale, Brewers dropping all 3. Harrison now on the injured list. We got Jacob Mizorowski dealing with some fatigue. Any concerns with the pitching going forward? And let us know what you think are the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers heading into the break. Maybe questions that you think, too, that they need to address by the trade deadline, or maybe they're questions that not necessarily are going to be addressed by the trading deadline. So let us know. All right, again, hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912. Or again on the Section 105 chats on the video stream. We got Justin joining us here in just a bit too. So let's take our first break, and we'll get things going here on the leadoff, talking some Brewers to open up things here this morning. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Believe it or not, hunting season preparation starts right now, and there is no better place to gear up than Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls. Whether you are looking to upgrade your deer rifle, pick up a new turkey gun, or add a dependable shotgun for traps, sporting clays, or target shooting, Tilden Gun has a wide selection of firearms from the brands that you know and trust. Their knowledgeable staff can help you find the perfect fit for your hunting style, experience level, and budget. Plus, you'll find ammo, accessories, optics, and more to help you get the most out of every trip to the range or into the field. Don't wait until the season is right around the corner. Get prepared now and shoot with confidence later. Stop by Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls and see why sportsmen and shooting enthusiasts throughout the Chippewa Valley trust Tilden Gun for all of their firearm needs. Well, first of all, let's say good morning to Justin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Did you have a good weekend?
Good enough with the Brewers getting swept.
Yeah. But it's like the Pirates. I feel like it feels like it's been the Pirates right before the All-Star break. I don't know if I was still stuck on a few years ago when it was like a 5-game sweep for the Pirates over the Brewers right before the All-Star break too. But we got plenty of baseball talk with the Brewers coming your way here. Let's just kind of do a quick recap, as painful as it might be from this past weekend. But Friday obviously was rained out, so we had a doubleheader on Saturday. So let's play two, as they like to say. But the Brewers falling in that first one, 7-6. Pirates jumped out to an early lead, but the Brewers were able to tie it up in the second. Pirates taking another run, and Brewers taking a lead, and maybe looking like they were going to get it done. I mean, come on, when you get a Sal Frelick home run in a game, you should be able to win that game. I'm just saying. But that bottom of the 7th inning was the bugaboo for the Brewers, giving up 4 earned runs. Aaron Ashby not on his A game, getting charged with the loss, giving up 3 earned runs. So Brewers falling by 1, a 7-6 loss for the Brewers in Game 1. Game 2, it was close again. Pirates jumped out to a lead 2-0 through 4, but the Brewers were able to tie it right back up in the top frame of the 5th. But Pirates able to get one more, and that was good enough for the Pirates to pick up a 3-2 victory. Shane Drowan went 6 1/3 giving up just 3 earned runs, did have 6 strikeouts, no walks, gave up a home run as well. But Brewers not able to score more than just a couple of runs to help Shane Drone get that victory. And then, yesterday was just kind of a mess. So it was supposed to be Mizorowski versus Paul Skeens. Mizorowski was scratched due to what they are calling arm fatigue. It sounds like, too, that he won't even pitch in the first series back for the Brewers. So something to kind of monitor there. But Pirates jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. Brewers were able to cut it in half in the top of the fourth, but that bottom frame of the fourth inning is one to forget, as the Pirates were able to put up a whopping 10 runs. 10 runs in the bottom of that frame. Robert Gasser was coming off of a really good performance in his previous starts, only going 3 innings and giving up 7 earned runs, including a couple of dingers. So after that, it was just kind of like, let's get through this game and just maybe get to the break here. So Brewers not able to get to that 60-win mark. They will finish the half before the All-Star break, because it's not necessarily mathematically halfway through the season, but the Brewers will enter the All-Star break with a 59-37 record. So we are asking, what are some of the biggest question marks, maybe some of the biggest concerns, or the biggest things that you think the Brewers need to address heading into this break, or something that they need to figure out? You can let us know with your picks, with your thoughts at on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. What is one of the biggest areas or questions you think, Justin, that the Brewers need to address during this break?
For me, pitching depth. Yeah. Whether that's bullpen arms or another starter, and I don't even think you need to go against Skubal like everybody wants. I'd be fine with like Joe Ryan, or I don't think the Red Sox will deal with us again, but Sonny Gray.
Yeah,
continuously said it.
Yeah. Pitching, does that also, because of the injuries to like Brandon Woodruff, and now you got Kyle Harrison on the injury list. Hopefully it's not a long stint. I mean, fatigue with Jacob Mizorowski. Does that, with those last week or so, with all of those news, is that what kind of maybe umped it up a little bit in terms of the importance, and maybe just because they're really young now without Brandon Woodruff with their starting rotation?
Yeah, I mean, you want experience, especially if this team wants to make a playoff run. So you want playoff experience if possible, but just some more experience to that rotation, and somebody that's a little bit older that knows the league a little bit more would be really nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at, it's kind of a tale of two different tapes here. I mean, taking 4 out of 5 against the Cardinals, which was awesome. I mean, for a 5-game series to take 4 out of 5 was great, but then leaves kind of a sour taste in your mouth when you get swept by the Pirates heading into the All-Star break. So, but it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like maybe the break is coming at the right time for this team, especially if Mizorowski is dealing with a little bit of fatigue, and then Kyle Harrison on that 15-day injury list. I know Brandon Woodruff was placed on the 60-day injury list, but they're saying they still don't have any final answers or anything like that. They're still waiting some of the results, and that's from his second opinion. But I don't know. It sure seems like the All-Star break is at a good time for this team to just maybe get away and just kind of maybe relax a little bit here and freshen up for the final 66 games.
Well, 100%. And I think I saw a stat. It was in the last 35 or 36 days. This team has had, I think, 4 days of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also, but you throw on top of that 2 doubleheaders.
Yeah.
So I think this team, I know people might overreact to the Pirates series, but this team was playing on virtually no rest. I know they had that off day, but then a doubleheader. So I think this team just needs a break, needs to get away for a little bit, and I think they can come back looking better. Now, what the pitching looks like coming out of the All-Star break, I have no idea for that first series, but
right.
I guess we'll find out.
You got to go back to, looking at that schedule. If we go back to June 12th, all right, when they began that series against the Phillies, they had 1, only two built-in off days, and then they get one with Friday's, rain delay, but then you put the doubleheader in there. I mean, you're talking about practically a month with just 3 days off, but then you, as you said, you mix in a couple doubleheaders in that stretch too. I don't care what people think. That's a lot of baseball. That's a lot of innings being played. And I know position players were getting some rest and, bullpen that, but that's still a lot. Oh, and then you factor in the traveling. I mean, not even off days for getaway days, right? I mean, there wasn't a ton of that action in there too. So, I mean, this just looks like a tired group. And, looking at the upcoming schedule just to kind of forecast it here, I mean, at least they get kind of, Thursday, the 23rd, the 30th. They get some off days in there, but then there's going to be another big stretch, August 1st through the 16th. No off days in there either. So, but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to overreact to just. I don't want to overreact to this series. It stinks. It's a little bit of a bummer. I think it would have been cool to get to the 60 win mark. Join the Dodgers as the only team, but to me, that one of my biggest questions that this team needs to address in the break is the health. And can they stay healthy, especially when it comes to the pitchers? Can they hold up? And when they get to the postseason, if they get to the postseason, but I'm going to say when they get to the postseason, are they going to be freshened up? Are they going to be good to go? Or is there going to be a lot of wear and tear on some of those younger arms? I'd be curious how the Brewers are going to kind of manage that. Do they go to a 6-man rotation maybe in the final 66 to try to prolong it so they can get a little bit healthier? But this team's got to hold up, especially when it comes to the pitching department. So that's one of my biggest questions. We got a couple of texts here. We've got Steve says that getting swept in baseball is like 3-putting in golf. It should not ever happen. Rando says the Brewers need pitchers and somebody that can help put runs on the board. C-Bomb says it is like an actual marathon run. It's one thing to get to that 13.1 minute mark at your PR pace, but the last fifth of that marathon shows what you're really made of. I think that's how this team looks. The crew are crushing it, but they're going to need that boost in the arm to get through the last fifth and through the playoffs. They need another solid starter, and one more bats with some pop might not hurt. What about the rest of you? Let us know. Hit us up. We want to hear from you. 715-830-1912. So let's take a quick break. We'll continue to talk some more Brewers. Continue to send us your biggest question marks, your biggest concerns, or what you think the Brewers need to figure out or address this week, this All-Star break week, as we get set for the final 66 games. When you say 66 games, it doesn't seem like there's that many left, right? It's going to go quick.
Yeah. I can't believe that we're almost 100 games into the season.
Right. Exactly. So, all right, quick break. And we'll be right back to talk some more baseball after these few words. Summer is the season for golf, softball, pickleball, baseball, running, and, well, staying active. But aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down. That's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with extra care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. That's Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. So we've got, since it is All-Star break in that, we've got Home Run Derby. Justin, you being a baseball guy, Home Run Derby, is that something that you're geeked up about tonight or paying attention to, or not really?
I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Probably with some friends.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Caminero and Murakami. Really, honestly, those two they're fun to watch. Even Jordan Walker, even though he's a rival.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Should be a fun derby.
What do you think about Bryce Harper's idea that maybe metal bats for like that final ball, that gold ball that he was talking a little bit about last week?
I mean, I'd like it some way to kind of mix it up a little bit and see the metal bats in action again. I mean,
try to get a ball literally out of a stadium.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to actually see if that could, tattoo one way out of that ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about, the BP pitcher's protected by net and that, so middles. I would think they'd be safe. But
I'd still be terrified, though.
Yeah, because that thing is going to be cruising off that. So, I'm not sure. Before you're off here around 8, I'll ask you for your prediction for the home run derby tonight. So, you got to think about it a little bit. Going with, I don't know who the odds-on favorite is, but I wonder if it's going to be like a Schwarber or Harper. I mean, it's their ballpark and that, but. Figure one or two, just because Mizorowski did not pitch yesterday. He is not pitching in the All-Star game. But Sanchez is getting the start, which I don't think is a big surprise to anybody. So, but in terms of, so we've had, people kind of throwing in bat. Brewers need that bat. They got to figure that out. They got to figure out who they're going to go get, whether it's another bullpen arm or a starter, and all that. But how important do you think it is? Is it still incredibly important? You mentioned pitching in that, Justin. Is another bat like right there? Is it still bullpen? Do you load up on just as many pitchers, and do you roll with what you have on the offensive side of things? I mean, how much should Matt Arnold and this front office really try to figure out and look at that market to try to find another player? I thought it was interesting. I think it was Kurt Hogg over the weekend, too, had said that Jet Williams is dealing with an injury. Otherwise, he would have been called up. So if he hadn't been, let me see. I think it was a minor injury. Let me double check here. But Kurt Hogg, was it Kurt Hogg? That, yes, maybe. Yes, here it was. He said Jet Williams has a minor wrist injury. Otherwise, he would have likely been called up. So, kind of interesting. I don't know if that meant he would have been called up over Luis Lara, if that's kind of what they were referring to, because David Hamilton is on the injured list.
Sorry, when did he post that?
20 hours ago.
That might have been for yesterday, since they traded for.
Oh yeah.
What was his? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, from the Astros.
Yeah, that. But I don't think Jet Williams is on the 40 man, so that is definitely news to me.
Yeah. So, but maybe sooner rather than later, potentially down the line. So, but okay, going back to the question at hand here, would you still like to see them add a power bat? Do you think, is it a promotion of Jet Williams when he is healthy?
Power bat, I'd still like to see. Maybe that just is the promotion of Jet Williams. But honestly, for me, adding a bat right now is secondary to pitching. I mean, I don't know if people have noticed, but I want to give credit where it's due to both Joey Ortiz and Cooper Pratt. They've both been on a roll the last 7 games, both hitting about 350. I mean, the power's not there, but Ortiz also missed a home run by inches on, what was that, Saturday's game? So, I mean, I'd like to see a power bat, but I want to give credit to where it's due. The left side of the infield is at least stepping up over the last road trip. Now, whether it is sustainable, we'll find out. But I still think pitching should be the primary focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A couple more texts coming in here. Dave says it should be starting pitching. It's not going to be Skubal, but I would like to see maybe another veteran and then plus bullpen player. And then Tim also saying pitching is priority 1 right now for the Brewers. Another message in here says, Joe, you might want to stay cool going fishing and listening to the show. Of course, stay cool out there, Joe. Fishermen don't say where they're going, so I'm not even going to put you in a spot and ask you that. So, yeah. So, we got a couple more texts in here saying would like to see them get a power bat, but I don't think there's going to be one available that would be a huge upgrade for the Brewers. So I say load up on some pitchers. And because you can't count on every pitcher to be healthy for the rest of the season and into the postseason, says Jeremy. So, I mean, odds are there's probably going to be, some more injuries. I I hope the Miz one doesn't develop into something with fatigue. I know they're kind of downplaying it and fatigue, and I think everybody is just worried about it. It's not maybe worried about, but they're almost waiting to see when it happens, when the arm goes or Tommy John. It's just feels like that's almost a rite of passage for every pitcher in Major League Baseball. So I hope this doesn't develop into anything. I hope the Kyle Harrison thing isn't serious. I know they downplayed it last week too, saying All-Star break's coming at the right time, but now you got discomfort in the forearm and on the injured list. So hopefully that's not a long stint out there. But yeah, those are the two right now with no Brandon Woodruff. You're talking about your top three starters a little bit banged up is, to me, a big concern now going forward.
100%. The good thing about Harrison's, I heard it was on like the outside of his elbow, not the inside. So that's at least, it's not great to hear, but I feel like, with Mizrowski throws 105. So, we all know that eventually you think something's going to happen. But I mean, yeah. And I feel like the Woodruff thing has scarred us. We hear about somebody with fatigue and then it's a 60-day trip to the IL, at least for him. So I'm hoping that Mizrowski just uses this to heal up, get better, and hopefully we can see Harrison come back as soon as possible as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not, I know it's not a for certain, and I know we talked to Dr. Crow on Friday about Woodruff's injury and, not trying to be Debbie Downer. I still don't feel great about him being back this year. If maybe he's back, maybe it's by the postseason, and hey, maybe if we could just get a couple games out of him in the postseason. I mean, that's not to be a jerk or anything, but that kind of seems like that's maybe his max at this point, is just a couple more games each time. And I worry about his career. It stinks for a guy like Brandon Woodruff, and I think the frustrating part for him, and I think for fans too, is that when he has been out there and healthy, he's looked really good, right? I mean, he's looked sharp. You just can't count on him. And until they can, and I honestly feel like if he wants to continue to play, I don't know if it's going to be in a Brewers uniform anymore going forward. And I don't know how many teams would give him an opportunity to be a pitcher, or at least not for a lot of money, right? He can't.
Definitely not. And that's the thing. I mean, it sucks. I mean, there might be a team that's willing to go out and get him, but I don't think the Brewers can take that chance. We already know they don't like to spend a lot of money, and I think with every dollar they spend, they want to on players, they want to see them perform, and not having him on the field as much as this season, I think that's kind of the end probably of him in a Brewers uniform. I do hope though, if he comes back for the postseason, we can either use him as a bullpen arm or even maybe like a 3-4 inning opener for some of those teams. Mm-hmm. Somebody to get you a good start, get you the lead, and then you turn the game over to the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. Tim in the Cooley region says, number 1, get healthy. Number 2, starting pitchers. And number 3, improve with your runners in scoring position. I feel like that is also a rite of passage the last few years when it comes to Brewers is RISP, runners in scoring position. Let's continue some more baseball talk. If you want, please let us know what your predictions are for the home run derby. If you want to make a pick, you can send them on over. And how much will you be paying attention? Is that something you still get excited to watch? Is that something that you still maybe pay attention to? But hey, it's going to be really hot, and you might be staying inside tonight. So maybe like, yeah, I'm got nothing else going on, so I might as well watch the home run derby. So let us know. Hit us up, 715-830-1912. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back, actually, to wrap up the first hour because we are cruising through this Monday morning of July 13th. We'll be back after these few words. Coming up on Wednesday, it is the official 715 day being held at the Brewing Project. It is free to attend starting at 5 p.m. We've got food trucks, local vendors, prizes, and more. And a portion of their sales of their 715 shandy will go to local animal shelters. So come grab a beverage and support the furry friends in need while celebrating the 715. The official 715 day in Wisconsin is a celebration of everything that makes our community and a greater 715 area special. So come support your neighbors, discover some new businesses, and be a part of a growing tradition in the heart of Wisconsin. We've got food trucks and food from Smack Daddy's, Roll and Smoke, Big Ash Pizza, Bees Knees, Chip Magnet, and egg rolls and more. So should be a fun night for 715 Day coming up in just a couple days on Wednesday. It's going to be a busy week. We got that. We've got our next tailgate Thursday for the Express game coming up on, this Thursday, July 16th. We're going to be tailgating starting around 4 p.m. right next to the Hank Aaron statue. So grab your tickets. To the game, but also hang out with us with some games, some free samples of their Legends beer. Bring the kiddos with, too, because the card collecting club is going to be there hanging out with us and going to be handing out some free cards to the kids. So that'll be happening this Thursday, July 16th. Should be a lot of fun. But speaking of the Express, too, they're playing some really good baseball, 6-game winning streak. Good weekend for them, sweeping Thunder Bay and then picking up a win against La Crosse yesterday. They're going to be against La Crosse again tonight in La Crosse. And then you're kind of looking at the rest of their schedule. They've got Minnesota coming up on Tuesday, an off day on Wednesday, and then back at it Thursday, and then another off day. Might not be bad for this week to have a couple off days with the heat going on for the Express. So, but so far they're playing some really, really good baseball. And I know if you go to the Express Facebook page, some alum got drafted because it was the MLB draft this past weekend. So if you kind of want to see some of the names, you're like, oh man, I recognize him. Like Dylan O'Connell, he got drafted by the Athletics. We've got, Cole Selvig was drafted by the Miami Marlins. So always cool to see some former Express players getting drafted. I know we had some local kids, too, getting drafted, but we'll hit that up in our local sports roundup brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. So wrapping up the first hour, talking some baseball, and, we're getting closer to the trade deadline. Is there, from a position player standpoint, has there been a name that you have seen that's possibly being floated out there as available that you think would be a good fit for the Brewers? I mean, because I think if you ask a lot of people, it's still probably third base. You're looking for a power hitter, slugging hitter at third base. Has there been really a name out there yet for the Brewers? It's not like last year where, Suarez was available and, he ended up going to the Mariners and that. But there's guys being thrown out there. But I guess my question would be, are they big-time upgrades to what they currently have at this point?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it. There doesn't seem to be a lot of, availability. Isaac Paredes is a name. I haven't seen much that Houston might move him, but there's the possibility with where they are in the standings. There's also the chance that they move Jeremy Pena, but if you're going for a power bat, Paredes is the one that you want. Mm-hmm. But I mean, looking through it, there's not a lot that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I think also part of it is the standings, at least in the AL, are so close together.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be 3 games under 500 and only a game out of the wild card.
Yep.
That might stop a lot of people from trading away stuff. But, I mean, there is also the chance that you shift around the infield a bit. You can get Luis Arias from the Giants, and I think he's played a little bit of third in his career. So, but again, that's not adding a power bat. That's only adding a contact hitter. So it doesn't really do much for you, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if the biggest area that you want to address is power, home runs, none of those names kind of fit that bill. Right? I mean, Luis would be nice for on base and that. I don't know if maybe would just because he hits, maybe it helps the runners scoring position numbers. I know you had the splits up there with that, but just to kind of put it in perspective, where are they at with runners in scoring position?
They're fifth in average. I think actually after the last 2 legs of this road trip, I think they went up a little bit. But cannot be for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So maybe just it's one of those that when you have a few games, it probably gets heightened a little bit more, right? When we see these games and they're struggling, and they were, there was a few games where they could not manufacture a run. They could not get a run across the board. So I think that gets heightened when you're losing those games, when you have opportunities to do so. And it's been an issue that the Brewers have had for the last few years at certain points. So I think that's always kind of at the top of the mind. And especially when you don't have a power bat, right? It's going to get a little bit more magnified if you're struggling to get those runs across when you don't have a couple consistent power bats in that lineup. Minnesota is actually number 1.
Yeah, I think that's probably where a lot of their wins are coming from. They're just really good with runners on, at least getting hits. I mean, if you look at RBIs, Brewers are first in RBIs with runners in scoring position.
Interesting. All right.
And first in walks. Clearly doing something right.
But they're not doing it the way they're supposed to, right? Analytics says you can't do it this way. I think there was I don't know where they're at now, but this was a statistic from last week. Let me see if I saved it. But there would have been no team. Let me see if I saved it. There was no team. Oh, nope, I don't have it. No, I don't have it. But it was something about no team has been under. Oh, yeah, it was under 400 slugging percentage and averaged over 5 runs per game. But the Brewers were doing it. And they would be the first one to do it.
I feel like
anybody?
No, I feel like this team, basically the last few years, especially with Murphy in charge, is just defying analytics. I mean, but Murphy takes those approaches, trying to hit righty, lefty stuff, or pitch the same side and hit reverse. But I mean, that's hilarious that this team just defies analytics at the same time.
And that goes, I think, back to the question that everybody threw out there last year, and it's going to happen again this year the closer we get to the postseason. Does that style win in the postseason? Does that style of going against analytics, or whatever you want to call it for the Brewers, a small ball, however you want to phrase it, Brewer ball, Murphy ball, does that win in the postseason? Last year, it won them a series, but then not after that. Can it win you a championship? That's going to be the question until they actually win a championship, right? I mean, that's going to be the main question. And I guess we're just kind of wait and see. Do you think it can, though?
I think it can. I'm hoping that maybe just the team's really young, and hopefully maybe just the lights were a little too bright last year, and hopefully this year with that extra experience, it adds an extra layer to them, an extra, knowing what it feels like to lose in the NLCS and in those win or go home games. Hopefully that kind of gives them an extra something this year. And there's also the chance that maybe you get lucky and another team knocks off the Dodgers so you don't have to face them.
Yeah.
And if people would call that a Mickey Mouse ring or an easy path, I don't care.
Play who you have to play, right?
Yep. Championship shows up the same at the end of the year anyways. So.
Yep. Rings aren't any smaller. There's no asterisks next to it or nothing. I won't apologize for it.
If anything, they get bigger every year.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And be kind of cool. I would imagine. I'd be curious to know how the Brewers would design a World Series ring.
Hopefully we'll find out.
You have to have like a bottle opener on that thing for a little celebratory beer or something.
You know how teams do like the rings, they open and it's got the stadium inside. Instead, it's just a bottle opener for the Brewers.
That'd be sweet.
I would love it.
Right? I mean, that'd be fitting. It'd be perfect.
Well, then you could also, next year you could do a replica ring giveaway and just make sure they detach the same way with the bottle opener in there.
Was it the Rams are doing that, I think, this year for their Super Bowl from a few years ago?
I think
it was the Rams.
I know the Brewers did one. I think it was for the 82 AL championship ring. I think they did a recent giveaway like in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, the Rams are doing for Week 6 a anniversary ring giveaway. How many was it? Like 60,000 to honor the 5th anniversary of the championship season. The Rams are celebrating the achievement by giving the first 60,000 fans who attend the Week 6 game against the Cardinals a replica of their Super Bowl ring. That's pretty gaudy. I do have a replica Bucks one that our friend G-Man sent over and that's pretty big too. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is, like you said though. It is kind of funny to look at it does get bigger and bigger and bigger. How big can you actually go with these things?
Yeah.
I remember Mark Cuban when the Mavericks won their title a while ago. He threw out the idea to the players about bracelets, and the players were like, no, we're getting rings.
It's always rings.
Yeah.
It's always going to be.
Yeah. Until somebody changes it and sets a new trend, maybe, but yeah, it's always going to be rings. So, no, here's a good point from Seabaum making a football comparison. Did it matter that the Packers didn't play Dallas to win the Super Bowl in '96? Beat whoever's in front of you. But boy, it would be nice to beat the pants off the Dodgers in the playoffs. Hey, they would have earned it. Right? It would be nice. But yeah, that's a good point. Did they have to beat that? Nope. Dallas. Was that the year, Seabaum, correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember, didn't Carolina upset Dallas, I think, in those playoffs? And Green Bay obviously played Carolina in the NFC Championship game, but I think Carolina beat Dallas if my memory's right. I was 10 at that time. Was it? I know. Yeah. Okay. Carolina did beat Dallas. All right. Still remember that almost 30 years ago at this point.
Oh, Dallas smoked Minnesota 40-15 in the first round. So that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were the defending champs that year. But all right, we only got a couple minutes left, so don't forget it is a VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. What was the best and what was the worst from the weekend? You can let us know and share it with the rest of the class. Okay. Also, we'll talk some football coming up a little bit later on. We do have some hoops chats. We have some Bucks news and Nuggets. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. I don't think they'll be exchanging any pleasantries in the near future. Gary Trent Jr. signing a fairly sizable deal to return to the Bucks, which I think has a lot of Bucks fans maybe kind of scratching their head. But we have Summer League going on, so a first glimpse of some of these rookies for the Bucks too. Speaking of rookies, we've got some Brewers rookies now too, a draft class from this past weekend. We'll kind of run through that too and introduce you to some of the newest Brewers, including one pick who his dad is a Hall of Famer that had a huge impact with the Brewers in his time too. We'll tell you who that is in case you missed that. So plus we'll do some local sports roundup coming up a little bit later on with Mr. JC and EC Justice Cleveland, sports director from WEAU 13 News, who'll be joining us in the 9 o'clock hour. And we'll go, I know we had some baseball action with Legion Ball and obviously the Express and some local kids getting drafted in the Major League Baseball draft too. So we'll chat with that with Justice coming up a couple of hours from now. Plus, we'll get back to your comments, your texts, your calls, all that fun stuff. So hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, or you can hang out in the Section 105 chat room and join in on the conversation. Join in on the conversation that's going on over there too. So, but we'll kick off the next hour. We'll do a little VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend, and we'll throw a little hoops chat into the conversation too. But plenty more baseball talk to get to here as we are just getting things going here this morning. 1 hour in, we got 3 more to go.